Right here on New Tonight at 6 o'clock, considered his biggest test yet to prove he's presidential material for 2028. Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear has officially started his new role to get Democratic governors elected across the country next year. WHAS 11's Isaiah Kim Martinez asked him about that here at WHAS 11 this morning and one issue facing Kentuckians going into 2026.
Governor Andy Beshear expects 2025 to go down as Kentucky's third best year ever for economic development. But he also warns the state faces a $300 million budget shortfall in 2026.
How will this affect Kentuckians' wallets?
Do I believe that Kentuckians are going to directly feel it from our budget? No. But will they feel it from tariffs? Yes.
Beshear says the budget deficit is mainly due to two Republican-led decisions: Kentucky lawmakers lowering the individual income tax and President Donald Trump's tariffs
that are reducing some spending in our economy.
The governor sat down for an interview in our streaming studio just days after starting his role as chair of the Democratic Governors Association. In that job, he'll have heavy influence in crafting a strategy for Democrats to possibly win in 36 governors' races next year.
You're going to see us hold all of these Republican governors accountable that haven't stood up, that haven't spoken out for their people, and their people are suffering.
The results of those elections could have a profound impact on Beshear's political future, which includes potential consideration for a 2028 presidential run. He's still not saying when he plans to have that conversation with his family, but he's now making it clear he believes a Democratic governor needs to be next in the White House.
When you look at the damage that Donald Trump has done to the federal government, it's going to take an executive that has run a large organization that can bring leaders with them to rebuild it.
While Beshear won't say whether he's the governor for the job, he does have plenty of ideas.
When I say rebuild the federal government, I don't think we should rebuild it the same way. It needs to be faster. It needs to be more efficient. It needs to be more responsive. That's what the American people need, and I believe a Democratic governor is who can get it done.
The governor doesn't talk a lot publicly about foreign policy, but staying on the presidential theme, I asked how he'd go about ending the war in Ukraine if it were up to him.
It is very clear that Vladimir Putin is who is to blame here. We need to be putting more pressure on Russia. We need to be very, very clear that we stand with Ukraine, and that's the only way that we can create the type of pressure that can get a peace that doesn't ask Ukraine to basically admit defeat.
So we're talking like a possible world leader there, Isaiah. You know, he gets a lot of attention nationally. The Wall Street Journal just reporting just a few days ago, this is a Democrat who wins in red America. That was their headline. If he hasn't made a decision about running for president and refuses to answer that question, doesn't he have to come to a conclusion, though, on this question by 2026?
Well, Doug, conventional wisdom would tell you he doesn't have the name recognition as some of these other candidates whose names have been floated, like a Gavin Newsom, like a Gretchen Whitmer, even a Kamala Harris. The governor understands that he is not from a coastal state. He's not from a state with a huge city. But then at the same time, he's also in an organization right now where he might be able to fundraise. He will be able to fundraise through the DGA, the Democratic Governors Association, and he'll get potentially a lot of resources through that might lend itself to an announcement coming after. But that's if he's successful. If he doesn't win a lot of these races like Nevada, Georgia, that are considered battlegrounds, this could be a whole different conversation.
That's right. Republicans will use it against him, that's for sure.
Sure thing.